Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a report about a company that seems to be having a little trouble getting everyone on the same page, which, let's be honest, we've all been there, right? This report is about T-Stamp, a company trying to get its stockholders to agree on something important, but running into a few roadblocks along the way. Basically, they needed their shareholders to vote on approving some warrants they issued to an investor, but not enough people showed up to the meeting to actually hold the vote. If you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where we can talk more about this stuff. So here's the story. Back in March of 2025, T-Stamp announced a special meeting for their stockholders, originally planned for May 15, 2025. The main purpose of this meeting was to get the stockholders to ratify or approve the issuance of certain warrants. Warrants are basically like options that allow the holder to buy shares of stock at a specific price in the future. The warrants in question were issued to an institutional investor, meaning a big financial company as part of a securities purchase agreement or SPA that was made in December of 2025. These warrants could potentially lead to the issuance of up to 648 shares of Class A common stock. The reason they needed the stockholder vote is because of a rule by Nasdaq, the stock exchange they're listed on. Nasdaq listing rule 5635 D-IN requires companies to get stockholder approval before issuing shares that could significantly dilute the ownership of existing shareholders. Here's where things get a little tricky. Despite the company's best efforts, they couldn't get enough stockholders to show up or vote by proxy to reach a quorum. A quorum is the minimum number of stockholders needed to be present, either in person or by proxy, to make the meeting valid and able to conduct business. Because they didn't have enough votes, they couldn't hold the special meeting. That means they couldn't get the stockholder approval they needed for the warrant issuance. Now, here's the kicker. According to the terms of the securities purchase agreement, since they failed to get the ratification at the first meeting, they're obligated to keep calling meetings every 90 days until either they get the approval or the warrants are no longer outstanding. So T-Stamp is planning to hold another special meeting within 90 days of May 15, 2025 to try again to get this ratification. Essentially, the company is stuck in a loop required to keep asking for approval until they get it. This kind of situation can be a headache for a company, taking up management's time and resources. It also creates uncertainty for investors who may be unsure about the future of these warrants and the potential dilution of their shares. So what's the big deal here? Well, it highlights a few things. First, it shows that even seemingly straightforward corporate actions can run into unexpected hurdles. Getting stockholder approval isn't always a sure thing, and companies need to be prepared to deal with potential setbacks. Second, it underscores the importance of clear communication and engagement with stockholders. Companies need to make sure their stockholders understand what they're voting on and why it matters. Finally, it reminds us that corporate governance, while often seen as a behind-the-scenes issue, can have a real impact on a company's operations and financial performance. In T-Stamp's case, the inability to get this ratification could potentially affect their ability to raise capital in the future, or at least make it more complicated. Investors may be wary of investing in a company that has difficulty getting its stockholders on board with key decisions. Looking at T-Stamp, it seems like they need to work on improving their communication with stockholders and making sure they have a plan in place to ensure they can get the necessary votes for important corporate actions. While they have to jump through some hoops, it might be better than alternatives. Alright, that's our breakdown of T-Stamp's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description where we can talk more about this and other reports. Thanks for watching. See you next time.